Well, we actually got a W in the books today. Blue Jays win 6-5 over the Kansas City Royals, and it was a weird one. Let's put it that way. You know, the Jays get the offense rolling early on, as in the top of the second inning. You know, things could have gotten really out of hand for the Kansas City Royals, but things change. They got the leadoff. They got the where is he here? Teoscar Hernandez walks to start the inning, and it was on a full count pitch, and we've seen all year long Teoscar Hernandez striking out a ton. So seeing him draw a walk is always big, especially when it's to lead off an inning. Then K-Money, Kendrys Morales, he walks. Now you've got 2 on, nobody out. Then Russ Martin singles to center field. The bases are loaded with nobody out. And Aledmus Diaz grounds into a double play, but the Jays take the 1-0 lead. Next batter, Kevin Pillar, with 2 out, gets an RBI single to center field. K-Money comes in to score, and the Jays got a 2-0 lead. It is great to have Kevin Pillar back. You know, and the Jays have a 2-0 lead early on. We haven't seen a whole lot of this as of late. Then we go to the top of the third inning. Bases loaded. I think it's 2 out as well. Russ Martin gets hit by a pitch. I think it's an RBI hit by pitch. You don't see that too often, but hey, almost as bad as a bases loaded walk yesterday by Reid-Foley. And it's 3-0 Blue Jays. And we're like, this is great. You know, we look at what Ryan Borucki's doing. He's gone 2 scoreless, walked a couple guys, but, you know, overall he's doing okay. Bottom of the third inning, Borucki runs into some trouble. This was his problem. Whit Merrifield singles to right, Mondesi comes in to score. Alex Gordon singles to right, Merrifield comes in to score. Salvador Perez doubles to right field, Alex Gordon comes in to score, and just like that, we're tied at 3. Now, in that inning, there was a lot of stolen bases. A leadoff double, then he steals third, you know, and then Merrifield gets on and he steals second. The speed kills this team. Borucki will learn a move to kind of limit that. His leg kick is pretty high, and when you have guys like Mondesi and Merrifield who are very quick, you got to find a way to do it. And with Jansen has a great arm, so it doesn't have to be too crazy, but you got to give the kid a chance. And just like that, it's a 3-3 ball game, you know? And then we go to the top of the 4th inning, where things get very interesting for the Toronto Blue Jays. And a lot of people wondering, what are you talking about? Well, Pillar flies out to start the inning. Next batter, Danny Jansen. 1-2 count. They're looking to go up in the zone. And like Sean Reid-Foley yesterday, didn't quite get it high enough. And what does Danny Jansen do? He makes the pitcher pay as he belts his first big league home run deep into left center, or more or less into left field, into the bleachers. And that was an estimated 385 feet down the line. Great job by Danny Jansen. I can only imagine what he's feeling. Touches home plate and points to his family and friends up in the stands. No better feeling for Danny. Congratulations, my man. You got 2 hits in your first game. You got your first home run in your second game. You've already thrown out a batter in your first game. And, I mean, he threw out another guy as well. They tried to hit and run play, and the Jays were smart because he called a pitch out. And hose time. Fires out the garden hose and just gets him at second base. Danny Jansen's got one heck of an arm. Not very, very hard arm, but accurate almost all the time. And that's really what we've been missing this year. Martin and sometimes Luke Maile has been kind of off in the dirt, wide, you know. But so far I've seen from Danny Jansen, it's right on the money. And that's what you want. So the Jays take a 4-3 lead there. But then we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. You know, you're going out there with Borucki looking for a rebound inning, and he gets into some trouble, and Mondesi singles to center field, and the game's tied at 4. Ryan Borucki, guys, did not have a great ball game. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all 4 were earned, struck out 1, and walked 4. What I've learned with Borucki, guys, in the short time, when he throws strikes, he dominates. The fact that he walked 4 guys and his ball-to-strike ratio was almost 50%, he wasn't on today. And you know what? That's going to happen. He's had back-to-back starts now where he's been, one against Boston, now against Kansas City. So, you got to look for his next start to rebound, and that's okay. He's a young starter, guys. He will bounce back at some point, all right? But now the problem is you're still tied at 4. Bottom of the 7th, Bonifacio doubles to left field. Salvador Perez comes in to score. This is off of Jake Petrichka, and just like that, the Jays are down 5-4. So after they had a 3-0 lead, they're now trailing 5-4. And things don't look good because it's already the 7th. The Jays have 2 opportunities to, come back in this game, and it's terrible. And then the Kansas City Royals bring, I think it's Blaine Boyer, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same guy, right? Yeah, Blaine Boyer. And for the top of the 8th inning, and it's Kendrys Morales and Russell Martin to ground out to start the inning. So there's 2 out and nobody on. Then Ledmus Diaz grinds and then walks on a full count, brings Kevin Pillar to the dish, and he takes an 0-2 pitch deep. And it was a ball in the inner half, and I don't know how he did it, but Kevin Pillar got his hands in. It was a curveball in the inner half, and he just turns on it, drills as a line drive, and it just barely gets out of the yard, but it's a 2-run shot, and the Jays take the 6-5 lead. This team does not quit. Now, once again, guys, the Jays' offense is still really nowhere to be found. 6 runs on 6 hits. It's not really where you want to see as of late, and the starting pitching wasn't all that great today, but the bullpen continues to prove as of late to be very good. Let's run through the bats real quick. Justin Smoke was 2 for 4. Russ Martin 1 for 3. Kevin Pillar was 2 for 4. And Danny Jansen obviously 1 for 4 in his ball game. Again, not a great game for the Jays. They really struggled. For goodness sakes, they had more walks than hits in this game. They had 7 walks to 6 hits. Not really a ratio you want, but it's not too bad. Because then when you get those clutch hits and you have those runners on, it makes them pay. So like I said, Baraki didn't have a great job, but you need a guy to come out. Baraki only went 4 innings, so you need somebody to come out and shut the door. Joe Biagini came out through 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out a batter, but no runs were given up for Joe. That's a big 2 innings there because it keeps your team in the ball game, giving obviously Danny Jansen the time to tie it up. Or no, sorry, that was to take the lead. But giving Kevin Pillar that opportunity to come out in the 8th and tie the game. Thomas Pannone came out for 1 batter and struck him out. Great job by Tommy Pannone there, and in his last couple outings, he's been pretty good, dropping his ERA to 6. And it put in perspective where it was after he got rocked in his first outing, it was 10-something. So it's dropping. And Thomas Pannone, however we want to call him, has been very good in his last few outings. It's great to see. And we always talked about Jake Petrichka, and went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and struck out 1. So that was the problem that gave them the lead. Tyler Clippard comes out for the bottom of the 8th inning after the Jays take the lead on the 2-run shot by Pillar. Goes a clean inning, gives up a hit, strikes out 2 batters, and that's that. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Ken Giles comes out. And if you're a hardcore Jays fan, you will have realized, and you guys will hear, I'm going to be uploading the podcast after I do this. You guys will know, Evan and I were talking in the podcast about how Ken Giles splits between when he is in safe situations and when he is in non-safe situations. He's a totally different pitcher. Now, guys, before we rip on him, who is really the same type of way? Roberto Osuna. You look at his splits, totally different. Probably an ERA of just over 2 or 2.5 in safe situations. As a guy who non-safe situations, probably over 4. In the late 3s, maybe 4s. It's a different situation. Ken Giles comes out there in a safe situation, up 1 run, goes an inning, no hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 14th save on the season, back-to-back saves, back-to-back scoreless innings. Thank you very much. Ball game, Blue Jays 6-5. Guys, I know Giles was atrocious with the Houston Astros. And I know he was terrible in his first few outings. But when was he in a save opportunity? Whoa, there goes my phone. I'm getting too fired up. When was he in a save situation before these last 2 games? He wasn't. Or maybe once. I don't think so, though. Now he's been in 2 save situations, and he's got the job done both times. Guys, I know what he did early on, and I know the ego, and I know we're all looking at that. Try and put that behind you and give this guy a chance. We're doing exactly what we're doing exactly to him what we did to Randall Grichuk early in the season. Give Giles a chance. I said it on the podcast. I truly mean it. Because it's a new start for him. He's trying to prove himself. And he has to me in the last 2 games. In 2 one-run ball games, which Clippard couldn't do. He's getting the job done. Give him a chance. Give him a couple weeks. Give him a month to show you what he can do in those situations. All right? I'm happy we got the win. Game 3 of the series goes tomorrow. Marco Estrada on the mound for the Blue Jays versus Bert Smith. God, I love that name. I said it yesterday. I love that name. 8:15 first pitch if the weather holds up in Kansas City. The Blue Jays look for back-to-back wins, and since it's a 4-game series, they look for, at the very least, the split in the series, all right? So that's first pitch, 8:15 tomorrow, weather permitting, all right? And you know what? I'm happy about today's ball game. You saw Danny Jansen throw at another guy. You saw him get a home run, you know? We saw Thomas Pannone for one batter and strike him out instead of like Aaron Loop where he's going to hit the guy. You know, and then you see a little bit of Ryan Baracki struggle, but it's okay. I'd rather see him struggle now than in a few years, right? I'd rather not have him too comfy now and then come out next year and be too cocky, right? He's good. He'll be fine. Danny Jansen's going to be a great catcher for this league. He's just got to learn how to catch a big league ball game. It's different than AAA. You can't sneak a fastball by a player on an 0-2 pitch. It's just not going to happen. You just got to make your pitches, make them smart. He'll learn. Guys, all these young guys are just learning. Baracki, Sean Reid-Foley, Pannone, Gurriel, Hernandez, even Brandon Drury. I know he's played a lot more, but he's still only 25. And Thomas Pannone. If I forgot anybody else. They're going to learn. They're going to have some hiccups. It's going to happen. But we just got to be patient with them. Baracki had a tough outing. Oh, well. He can bounce back in the next one, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed the win today. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Also, smack that like button to give Danny Jansen a little bit of thumbs up for that dinger today, which was beautiful. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below if you guys, what you guys thought of the game. What you think of Danny Jansen in his second game? What'd you think of Baracki in this ball game? I want to hear what you guys have to say about him. And also, Ken Giles, what are your guys' thoughts? I want to hear what you guys have to say. And I will talk to you guys later on. Yeah, I'll be uploading the podcast. I told you guys it was going to be a late one. Link is in the description, though, for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow night as the Blue Jays look for back-to-back victories. Marco Estrada on the mound for the Blue Jays versus Bert Smith. God, I love it. I love it. 8:15 first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. And like I said, be great to see it back-to-back wins because it's always fun to talk about some W's. We'll talk to you guys then.